Aart unites specialists in the 4th arrondissement of Paris, including architects, urban planners, engineers, and designers. Aart has developed various fields of activity, such as the urban design of city centres, hotels, and commercial architecture. But its sector of expertise remains none less than healthcare design and planning. Today, Aart is counted among the most important firms specialised in this highly specific domain. Aart has known how to meet its clients' demands concerning functional and economic objectives and their search for ideas aiming to humanise the buildings for which they are responsible. In less than 2 decades, Aart has built numerous large-scale hospital projects. Each project, while satisfying the same philosophy which aims to guarantee the hospital's functionality, its humanization, its openness towards the city, its contemporary identity, nevertheless categorically refuses the idea of a predetermined model. The design is always the result of an in-depth work of observation, analysis, and synthesis. All the projects developed by Aart attest to their capacity not only to reconcile the advantages of low horizontal pavilion hospitals and the vertical monoblock hospitals with their centralized technical medical platforms, but also to conceive buildings that are adaptable in space and in time. Aart allows it to satisfy the building program requirements and rationalize resources centered around the patient by creating specific. Aart's approach also enriches a building's expected functionality by use of an extremely clear system which organizes flows of circulation and movement, a 3-dimensional interconnection capable of assuring all adaptations required by a medical machine in perpetual movement. Aart's medical bioengineers have created and continually develop an innovative patented software system, which at any stage of the design process enables practical, real-time management and coordination of a project's medical equipment and the interface with the building engineering systems. The extraordinary size of the new University Hospital of Amiens, set in a university campus, asserts itself as a veritable medical city. An impressive public space assures the connection between the different poles' reception halls, reinforced by communal activities and enhanced by a dynamic waveform roof, with a veritable teaching and communications center. Articulated by a 3-dimensional circulation and distribution system, 3 poles of about 400 beds each, plus their daycare medical platforms and emergency department, and are situated close to a centralized technical medical and critical care platform, Pierre Bérégovoy General Hospital in Nevers is a perfect illustration of this functional, flexible and modular approach. It identifies 5 poles of activity of around 100 beds each, organized into 4 wards. This organization is completed by a centralized main technical medical platform. 2 axes of movement, one public, the other medical, readapted at each level, punctuated every 50 meters by lift cores, which irrigate the whole of the hospital building. The technical medical building at the University Hospital of Nantes includes an organ transplantation center, intensive care units, post-transplant wards, burns unit and research laboratories, by creating a silo technique on elevation. This device permanently frees the different hospital sections and renders them perfectly flexible and keep up with the latest technology. The new hospital at Quimper integrates the existing Fontenoy building to a new global composition, and its concentric circulation system is replaced by a linear system capable of assuming the present and future extensions. But the functional, modular and flexible hospitals developed by Aart also need to be more open to the patients, their families and visitors. Aart enriches the reception and admission spaces to increase user-friendliness and designs them for greater humanity. The reception halls, atriums, internal streets or galleries are invested with reception desks, waiting and recreation areas. These areas characterize the hospital of tomorrow, relieving stress and becoming a socio-cultural extension for the town and its fellow citizens. At Papeete General Hospital, an atrium resembling the interior of a ship's hull extends the full height of the building and is exploited as one of the island's public city squares. It unifies the entrances to 2 medical poles, the medical and surgery department and the maternity and pediatric units. The complex is endowed with generous courtyards, breaking down the limit between interior and exterior, and reinforcing the natural air conditioning in the atrium, derived from free air movement through the slatted wooden facades. At Calais General Hospital, the taut curved line of the transparent facade and its skin of terracotta sunscreening softens the ambiance of the public spaces during the day. And this same device, when lit up and viewed from a distance at night, creates the force of the building's internal street space. Each project designed by Aart applies the concept of an extroverted building, open towards its environment. Aart's design approach is therefore balanced by urbanity. Its architecture is fashioned by taking into account the various scales of its location: the hospital site, the adjacent districts, the city and its region. The new building is anchored to its surroundings by creating generous, fluid spaces, squares, piazzas, forecourts, planted areas and urban parks. The landscape even extends inside the design. At Bayonne, the inherent qualities of the quadrilateral geometry of the classical Saint-Léon building of the Côte Basque General Hospital are brought to light. From this historic site emanate a succession of forecourts, raised walkways, hanging gardens, all elements which participate to the openness of the reconfigured hospital site, to the city and the adjacent Basque countryside. At Marseille, the site of the existing Timone University Hospital will favourably accommodate the construction of two large new buildings, a medical technical building and a paediatric and maternity hospital. These two new complexes succeed in radically upgrading the site's current image by minimising the mass of the old building. The final project creates two new urban landmarks. Whether the site is urban, semi-urban or rural, clear of all construction or charged with history, Aart approaches the settings of a new project with contextual sensitivity. The play of spatial forms, transparency and opacity, mineral and deciduous reinforce one another, forging a composition which is always appropriate and contemporary. On the island of Réunion, the discordant feel of the existing Saint-Denis General Hospital has been recomposed, transforming the site into a unified, contemporary but non-monolithic complex. Cubic volumes in juxtaposition with peristyles and slanted roofs create an image akin to a series of gazebos perched over the town. The Regional Hospital of Metz rises to the challenge of a new and innovative pole-based hospital concept and promotes its principal entrance with a large piazza, highlighted by a huge etched glass screen, which is a support for digital image and text messages. Also a dominant high-tech floating roof incorporating various environmental technological equipment such as solar panels. Ethereal and giving the impression of floating in its surroundings, this high-tech roof emphasizes the horizontal character of the design.